say that just looking at this matchup from my viewpoint, if I had to pick the outcome here, I am definitely going to be picking CHX for this losers final, the second chance final, for a shot to get back up to the grand final. I'm thinking probably going to be in 5. I don't know about the rest of you, but that's how I feel about it.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth, Bryce. That's exactly what I was going to say. I got a feeling, I mean, no disrespect to Mr. Dino, who has been playing absolutely extraordinarily well. I mean, just CHX has been at another level right now. And if it weren't for the last 3 games of that match against you, Bryce, and kind of the bad RNG that he got into Mutoid, man, he might have been in the Grand Championship. And he probably would have been in the booth with me calling this race. But in any event, we're underway. It's game number 1 between Mr. Dino and CHX42. Let's go.
Well, he would have been closer to catching me in 4 and 5, but I still would have been just the way I was playing. It was too long. Doesn't matter, though. We're underway with game number 1. Jackie, how about you real quick? How many games and who's going to win?
All of the games, Bry, is what I think is going to happen here. And I'm going to go against the grain. I think Dino's going to pull off the upset here.
Ooh, I'll tell you what, I like that bold prediction. I think it's, hey, like I said, until Prince Leaf got that 523, I was going to say Mr. Dino in 7 games. And again, this was my first instinct, but it is what it is. Rockets for CHX to start collect power-ups. There's a spreader. Dino getting a razor shield going to ignore the grenades. You're not going to be fishing for that orb right now. And then he gets a foot drop. CHX gets a razor shield now.
Good choice to pick that up. No real weapons on board, and got some rockets, a great reward. And look at this time, CHX riding rockets to a 79.
Yeah, when you're having no orbs, I mean, getting those rocket drops, you can still get a sub-80 time, and that is very, very good. Mr. Dino does pick up an orb. He's about 5 seconds back, but if CHX does not get that orb, we may see a swing in the leadership when we get to Total Carnage.
I have to ask the local resident expert on rocket spread. How was the rocket use by CHX in that room?
Rocket use was pretty good, Bry. You saw how he took his time, rode the clip as much as possible, and still getting tons of rockets here at CHX. If you don't have an orb, you want that vitamin R. So efficient fire with those rockets can save you a ton of time. As you see, he's going to walk out here with a robust 202.
Ooh, sabotage there. And Dino drops the orb, trying to get him close with the grenades.
Oh, that's a mistake there, and a very costly one. He could have gained some time on CHX there. And that's kind of the problem that Mr. Dino had in his match against Princely. Some sloppy gameplay before tank trouble, dropping early orbs. We really can't afford to do that against someone like CHX.
I mean, he kind of got away with it against Leaf, because any of the races he did it, there was enough bad luck on Leaf's side that he was able to ride it out and even it up.
Now look at all the good fortune that CHX is getting. Gets a razor shield, gets an orb, gets rockets. He's got full control of this room here, and he's going to have at least a double-digit lead coming out of Total Carnage.
Game tried to give Dino an orb there, but looks like it was on the feet for him and right into a Batman, so not the most fortuitous of placements for that.
The real question is, did that grunt say, "Oh, Batman," when he came up and took it away?
Well, it's a 256 for CHX, and Mr. Dino, as I alluded to, is going to be double digits back. In fact,
this is getting wildly wide here.
Oh, I know. We're probably going to see that swirl of shame, something I haven't talked about. No, we're not going to see the swirl of shame. But
and these guys, oh no.
My goodness gracious. Mr. Dino.
More razor shield. This is the most razor shields I've ever seen on an easy run. I think that's his 5th one.
That is insane, Bryce. He is 30 seconds ahead, and that lead is going to widen. Spreader on the feet should get good control of the middle here. I mean, he is just absolutely pouring it on here. And, you know, if CHX continues to keep this up and get some good luck with Bryceoff, or good luck with Bryceoff, good luck with Mutoid, man, Bryceoff's record might be in jeopardy.
It's a possibility. There's always that 70-ish second Mutoid hanging out there to be had. And CHX, honestly, could even have a PB opportunity here. Or if the most insane Mutoid ever, a small world record.
84 seconds is what CHX is going to be looking for, as he has a 4:06 entry into Mutoid, man. Mr. Dino just starting with tank trouble here. Gets a nuke, be able to take down one of the guys, but then gets clubbed.
bit of a mistake there from CHX, trying to grab the rocket, swung the orb up into Mutoid Man on the corner. So lost out the ball buster on that.
And 40 Watt mentioning in chat, he has got a 69-second Mutoid Man now twice. So he recently tied his world record Mutoid Man fight.
Could be a glitch story here. Oh no, never mind. What do you think of that, Jack?
That is the one time where you don't want rockets on the feet. You, in fact, never want to see rockets in any of the boss rooms in this game if you can help it, which you can't.
Yep, the good old sabotage there, and I'll tell you what, that sabotage is at least going to give Mr. Dino a little bit of hope to maybe put a dent into CHX's lead. He does have the orbs, so he'll have an opportunity at the ball buster. Good patience there by Mr. Dino. Kill the swirl, then pick up the lobber, because it's very hard to take down the swirl with that lobber. Dino gets it.
That ball buster, good to see that. That's 42% damage of one form. 168 points, and here's a spreader for CHX. Probably all she wrote here.
Yeah, this spreader should get to the final form. Maybe get the transfer damage here. Here's the final form. If he got enough transfer damage, it's going to be a sub-6 start for CHX, but he did not. Maybe these rockets will be enough. Time is ticking on Mr. Dino here. Spreader, and it will be a sub-6 opener for CHX. Wow.
CHX probably won't be super happy with how that fight played out, but still, it's a sub-2 Mutoid, and that's always a good thing on such a random boss.
Yeah, definitely is. And you know what? I think good news for Dino here is if you're going to have a bad game, you want to have your bad game whenever your opponent is having a really, really good game.
Oh, absolutely there, Jack. I mean, when you're going up against a sub-6 time, and again, only one losing sub-6 time in the tournament, you might as well have your worst run here. And yet Mr. Dano got off to that bad start, losing that orb in Eat My Shrapnel, didn't get another orb until Tank Trouble, and CHX, that was more than enough for him to coast through the line.
So what you're telling me is that if you're going to lose to somebody with a sub-6, you shouldn't get a 554.
Right!
Yeah, that's the next game.
So, I'll tell you what, so far though, Brysolv has held all of the tournament records. He has the fastest time with the 531 and now the fastest losing time with a 554. Of course, that could go down sometime today. You just never know.
Absolutely not. I mean, I'm waiting for a 5-4X that takes the L. I'm just waiting to see it.
And Mr. Dano, after losing all of his lives there, just throws in the towel there and just going to shake this off, go to game number 2.
Yeah, I think that's the right call there, Cards. You don't want to finish it out at that point. Just throw the entire game away, out of your mind. Call it a warm-up, come back strong, and tie this thing up at a game apiece here.
And how about our fourth member of the group, Ferran? What do you have to say about that game 1, and what is your prediction for the matchup?
Well, my initial hunch was going to be CHX in 5, but I feel like that Price is Right game one away where you have to hit move the number 1 up or 1 down. I'm going to be bold here. It's going to sound crazy. I'm thinking CHX takes out the broom.
That is not necessarily a bold prediction there. It very well could happen. I mean, if CHX continues to throw down races like that, get sub-6, 6-0X or whatnot, notwithstanding Trolltoid Man's RNG, it very well is possible. I'm going to tell you right now, Mr. Dino is going to have to play better in game number 2. You can't, like I mentioned, can't afford to be dropping orbs early on in the run, especially if the game doesn't give you any replenishments after that. If he does this in game number 2, yeah, you're right, Ferran Burgundy. This could possibly be a sweep. Hopefully for the studio audience, they'd like to see more games than this, but we'll see what happens.
And for those wondering what all is on tap today, we are starting here with the second chance finals. First competitor to win 4 will move on to the grand finals. However, to give them a break, we have scheduled in a exhibition team event where we're going to have 2 teams of 3 going head-to-head, playing, see who can finish an arena the fastest, and there's going to be a point system, which we will get into once we get to that. Following that will be the grand finals. Yours truly awaits the winner of this match to crown the 5th annual Super Smash TV Easy Percent champion.
Absolutely, as game number 2 is now underway. Both of them do have their razor shield manipulations here, and we'll see how this plays out here. Mr. Dino trying to equalize here while CHX trying to take a big 2-0 lead.
Got a nuke on the feet for CHX.
I think it was a little away from him, Bri. He may have grabbed it preemptively, or may have just swung into it while he was dancing around the center of the room.
Still about a 1-second lead, though, for CHX as we get into collect power-ups.
Yeah, about a 1-2 second lead. Again, the timers are a little off sync. Normally, this is when Mr. Dino will get everything lined up because he's in the race. Wow. If that doesn't say RNG favors the favor, never mind.
Gets one in the middle.
Never mind what I said there, Bryce.
Look at the locations of these orb drops. Man, bottle that and sell it to every runner that exists. They would buy it in droves.
Absolutely right there. As we got a spreader now for CHX. Look at this time. 76 into Eat My Shrapnel. Mr. Dino just didn't get the quality of weapons that CHX got. Still a 124, not too bad, but he's got to keep that orb healthy and Eat My Shrapnel. 18 of the Mr. Shrapnel dudes that you got to take out. Maximum of 4 can be on the screen, so damage control, very important. You want to keep the kill rate high.
And something to note as well, even though it was spreaders for CHX, you just due to the excessive amount of bullets, killed off the shrapnels and didn't have to kill them at the end of the room. A big advantage to Otherwise.
It certainly is, and that is all for the foot soldiers from CHX and Mr. Dino. It's all about taking down the rest of the Mr. Shrapnels as fast as possible. 159 into total carnage for CHX. This should be the last shrapnel for Mr. Dino. It is 2:08. It's a 9-second difference, so lost a little bit of time, but not much. Now, this is where Dino really needs to see some good weapons and hope that CHX... Oh, but it's Mr. Dino making the mistake.
Drop the orb again. That is not good. But gets a replacement. Can he get to it?
Yeah, that's in a very precarious spot. He is able to get to it, but CHX picking up a razor shield. That'll help him control the middle. Now a spreader in a tight spot is able to pick it up. Good patience there by Dino, but CHX continuing to get good quality of weapons. Rockets.
Sub 250s in play here. Just needs to tamp it down here at the tail end of the room. It's going to be close.
I think he got it. 249! The first sub 250 of the tournament! Dynamite!
He's ready to rock and roll today. Oh, Dino almost lost his orb there, Jack. That was tight.
Yeah, getting a little precarious with the movement here. These rockets should finish the room off for Dino, though, and having a little bit left in the clip, we'll be able to get rid of at least one of the gunners at the start of tank trouble.
I'd be able to get rid of both of them with a third of a clip left. We saw that happen. It depends on how much of the second green bar he's got left. But yeah, he should be able, at the very minimum, take down one of the gunners. But even with that 309, which is still a respectable time into the bonus room, just 20 seconds back just because CHX has been playing out of his
Great
mind.
movement. CHX, realizing the shrapnel and bullets had him trapped, he stepped upwards to escape the tank. That was fantastically done.
Yeah, Dino is going to get both gunners, and now a nuke for Dino, so he can at least control the center now. CHX has a razor shield.
Rocket, he's sub 4 to the rocket, Jack. Just needs that rocket here to finish the room. There it is. Will we get a sub 4 to the boss room?
I
It's going
think
to be
we
very
will.
close. Yes!
Very high 3, but indeed it's a sub 4. World record in play with a crazy mutoid. A relatively crazy mutoid. You're talking PB.
Yeah, 71 is what he needs for a world record, which he's done before.
Will he get it though? Will he still get it?
He will get it!
Oh my lord. Is this happening, folks?
It depends on what the next weapons are. Another
Oh my
spreader!
god! He can die! Oh, it's gonna be tight.
No, he had another vulnerability to
don't-
go with it.
Oh no, he couldn't reach it.
Oh, that's too bad there for CHX. And
Oh my
oh
God.
man, that could have been.
Seriously had a shot if that would have been the drop with the spreader in hand. Are you kidding me, game? That is cruel.
I mean, he had an invulnerability. He couldn't die to get that spreader, unfortunately.
It's the right color, but it's the wrong drop.
Oh man, perfect location too. Oof. So it looks like your record is going to be safe here, Rysel, but I'll tell you what, that start of that fight, CHX had a chance there, but just the invulnerability didn't wear out fast enough for him to get that spreader, and by the time he took the death, it was just too late.
Meanwhile, Dino in has popped both arms as we hit the final form of CHX. So again, Dino around, but those troubles in Total Carnage are just putting him behind during the first 2 games.
Here's a spreader. CHX a lobber. This might finish it off. We may have another 5-4X if he can land the rest of these shots. He does. Our 15th 5-4X or better of the tournament, Bryce Off.
Just unbelievable. See it go down like that. It should be a 546, 547. Yeah, 546. You love to see it. And here's a good spreader for Mr. Dino, who's made up a fair amount of time here.
Absolutely, he's made a lot of time here. And if he got enough transfer damage, which he did, it's a good time. It's going to be a 6-13 about, and he's going to lose by almost 30 seconds.
And those Total Carnage issues are just burying him right now. He's got to clean it up in the rooms where it's not that tough.
6-12, I mean, that is going to win. I'd say about 90% of the races in the tournament there, Mr. Dino. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Total Carnage, he didn't really do anything badly wrong. I mean, yes, he dropped the orb, got a replacement, but when you're going up against a 249 going into the bonus room, there's just not much you can do about it. I mean, he was 20 seconds back and only lost 6 seconds net after that. It's just the early phenomenal RNG that CHX got with the weapons, you know, keeping that orb healthy, you know, this excellent shooting in all of the rooms there. I mean, there's just nothing Mr. Dino could do. Even if he didn't drop that orb in Total Carnage early, he still would have lost.
Yeah, it's not so much an indictment of Mr. Dino's play as much as it's just an emphasis on how much RNG CHX was getting and how locked in he was. And that is more of what made the disparity, where even a slight hiccup on Mr. Dino's part is magnified tenfold.
I love this prediction up on the channel right now. Will we see a sub-6 in this race? Yes or no? CHX playing hot. Dino having a few issues. Maybe it swings back and forth for the two of them here. Maybe CHX slows down. What are you guys feeling? What's your predictions in?
I will say this, CHX pointing out that he did not mean to die to go for that spreader. He meant to wait it out, then grab the spreader. And yeah, then he would have gotten that invulnerability after the fact to get more damage. He thinks maybe, just maybe, possibly, that could have been world record. But hindsight is 20/20, Bryce Olf.
He absolutely had a shot at world record, especially if that invulnerability drops and he has gone for the manual. Based on what I recall of the time, 505 was possibly in play. It depends how much damage he had taken on that current form.
And that's actually the second time, Bryce, that we have seen CHX in tournament play. You know, not just in his runs, you know, that he does, you know, on the side. In tournament play that he had a shot at world record live right here.
Well, there's a reason I call him the future world record holder, guys. It's because he is the future of this game on speedrun.
Well, absolutely. I mean, CHX as a 520 as his PB time. He very well could break that here at any given time. You never know. As game number 3 is underway between CHX and Mr. Dino. Mr. Dino, again, played better in game number 2, but again, he still has to tighten up a little bit in Total Carnage, as you mentioned, Brian.
It's something that Jack can back up here. Before you can really get that crazy good time in any game, you've got to suffer, you know, a few heartbreaks here or there to kind of learn the lessons as you go. So just something that CHX is working through, and he's going to get down into the low 5.1x's or into the 5.0x's.
It's about a 1 second lead for CHX going into collect power-ups. Let's see what kind of weapon. Starting off with the grenades, a nuke for Mr. Dino, so maybe a slight advantage for Dino, as CHX is, of course, going to ignore the grenades. Grenades on the feet for Dino, and somehow is able to not touch them.
Yeah, I mean, managed to stay away from them, especially where they were located. I just want to pick them up personally and try to chase that orb, but that's all about how you strategize. In a room, it's risky. If you keep getting, you know, bad stuff, you're going to get stuck with bad grenade chains, perhaps.
And these are some of the worst weapons I've seen in collect power-ups in terms of cumulatives.
He gets a spreader and he gets clubbed down, Jack. There's not a worse feeling in the world, is there?
There's not a whole lot that feels worse than that. You know, maybe choking a co-op sub 33. But, the drops have dried up for both of our racers here in game number 3.
And any event here, Mr. Dino going to have to get lucky here. I mean, CHX with that 129, he's probably going to be very upset with that, but little does he know, he's already in the lead by about 10 seconds. Rockets, though, for Mr. Dino should be able to keep the room under control, but more importantly, neither player has an orb here. CHX will be first with a 212. Still no orb. If Dino can see an orb at the end of the room, which unfortunately he does not, he might have a chance. He's still 9 seconds back with a 221. So now it's going to come down to weapon quality. Rockets now a razor shield, but now an orb for Dino, so maybe this is his chance, but never mind.
Well, he gets the orb. He doesn't have much time ahead with it, but he got a few seconds there, managed to keep it healthy with some squirmers really on his tail.
Honestly, I think he got a few more seconds than you think there. That first rocket drop for CHX, his firing was a little bit sloppy there. Missed a lot of shots.
Yeah, but he gets more rockets. Meanwhile, Dino picking up a goodie.
You know, that item you love to get on an easy run, you can't possibly reach the pleasure dome.
Now, speaking of the pleasure dome, I don't know if we've discussed this or not, but maybe that's something we might see in the relay later on. It's a 304 for CHX. That's a pretty good recovery considering the start. And Mr. Dino has kept pace, 313. So for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Taco Bell. Taco Bell. Product placement with Taco Bell.
Master Burgundy, you didn't cut in for the usual for the first one.
I'm saving it. Yeah, I don't want to load up on the tacos too quickly.
It might have been your only chance, though, Bergs, but who knows? Let's go to tank trouble here, as both players still have the orb, but both not getting any quality of weapons to take down the gunner. CHX doing a lot of damage, as is Mr. Dino. They are still on the wall, and Dino can't get to the dude.
CHX gets sniped. He was really struggling controlling the room, and he got tank sniped.
Well, I got a bad feeling. If you said yes on the sub-6 prediction, it's not looking good.
Dino goes down, but should maybe reach that razor shield at least so we can get rid of the gunner finally.
Does do indeed just that. Meanwhile, CHX with the spreader, trying to do as much as he possibly can. There's an orb replacement for Dino. Will he be able to get to it? He does, but he can't get back to the middle.
Dino made a good choice there to back off with that tank coming out that way. And the good thing he did, the early shots would have sniped him. It's a 429 for CHX. Definitely not going to be happy with that.
He would need a 90-second fight for the sub-6 prediction to come true if anybody has predicted that there's going to be a sub-6 in this run. Now, I know that time is bleeding. Now, he does have the orb, so he'll have a chance to get the ball buster. He's 18 seconds back. This one's not over.
Absolutely not here, Jack. Still gold arm CHX should be popping with this lobber. You can usually get one form per lobber, and yeah, the grenades get it.
Again, good patience there by Dino. That lobber was on the feet. You know, always tempted to grab that, but gets the swirl first.
Great ball buster. Wow, on the run, just spiked him.
Oh, that was
flew right in there and landed it. Really fast execution.
That might be one of the best ball busters we've seen in the tournament, gentlemen.
The only one that would be better, I believe, was 40 Watt doing it and seeing spreader and dying in one fell motion. Hey, look at his manuals. Let's go.
Oh, but there's an invulnerability.
Invulnerability for Dino.
CHX did a decent amount of damage there. Popped the head. Now looking for a weapon drop. It's a rocket. Not great.
We got Glitch Toy Man on Dino's side, but right now it is still CHX with the lead. Gunner has popped off now for Dino. And CHX, an empty drop. Ooh, this could give a chance. They're both on the same form now. CHX still in the lead, but that lead is shrinking.
CHX is going to be popping final form. Yeah, there it is. Like all those rocket shots. Rockets are bad for damage output, but had two of them on that.
Oh, an empty drop for CHX. Final form for both. Another empty drop for CHX. A spreader for Dino. He'll be able to get another one for CHX.
Wow.
Freaking world.
But Dino gets run over, and he's going to be blocked by those rockets. He gets it!
Nope,
Gets it!
This is going to be really, really close.
It's going to be CHX!
Oh my goodness. What a troll job by Troll Toy.
Oh, Dino had a chance to get back into this match here, but CHX is going to come from behind 633 to 638.
As a wise person once wrote, in the blinking of an eye, that moment's gone, and that death was the death knell for MrDino in that race.
Yeah, absolutely, Bryce Off. I mean, yeah, taking that death was huge there. But another thing was, though, he missed a lot of shots on the weapons. Didn't get good quality weapons, to be fair. Neither did CHX on the final form. But the problem with Dino was that he missed too many shots. When that death happened, we've seen it time and time again, Bryce Off, in these matches. That one death on the final form where you just get run over, cost you that valuable time, has proven to be the difference in many races. And this is no exception.
Absolutely, but I would make one point of order. I think Jack and this could back me up here. Rockets on the final form are actually a pretty good weapon. They give you range, and they do a decent amount of damage, since there's no real extra damage to be dealt out on the final form.
They are, at very least, better than spreaders on the final form. Grenades are your go-to weapon for the final form. A little on the risky side, because you have to get up close and personal, but it will be the fastest DPS on the final form.
That's fantastic for that. You just spray so many shots when you're in close like that, and they just keep pouring out of the gun. Indeed, it's risky, but it is very nice. So 3-0 CHX, one victory away here from the grand finals. Hopefully Mr. Entity has made himself known there as he popped up in the matchup channel, Jack.
Can't really check the matchup channel at the moment without losing the broadcast, but I have sent him a message to his phone. So with any luck, he'll get that and be along here momentarily for our relay whenever that gets started up here. We've still got some more action in this match right now. CHX does have that commanding 3-0 lead, but the fourth one is always the hardest W to get.
Well, they are underway here, and Ron Burgundy, who just went on mute, will be getting live here, taking part in our exhibition, and we got a little that's pretty fun. Let's see how they play the first room here, gentlemen.
Well, nothing too outside of the ordinary here so far. Get the Razor Shield, get into the middle if you see a big group nearby, plow into them with it. Looks like CHX is going to be out here first. That might be a high 37. Really efficient firing. And a great look from Dino.
Oh, it's only a 38. It's only a 38-3. God, man. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's a really good time there. All right, so let's see what the opening drop is going to be for CHX here in collect power-ups and rockets. That's a great opener, but an ore for Dino.
That's a good start. Now, Dino's got to take care of this thing. He's 3-0 now. He can't grip the controller too tightly. He's got to be hyper-aware of every potential problem. Now, rockets and more rockets and more rockets and rockets for CHX.
Wow, vitamin R for days here. My word, these are some excellent drops. We are going to see some great times going into Eat My Shrapnel. 80 for each.
The only thing there is if you're Dino, you'd rather see all of those rockets before the orb. That'd get you the fastest time in that room.
That is technically true, but if you have to go chasing the rockets in the corner, that negates that advantage.
Rockets on the feet there for MrDino, and CHX does not have the orb.
No, he's working hard though, just gaming out how he can, killing some swarmers and the shrapnel, balancing out pretty nicely here. One of the better balancing actions out of what we've seen in this tournament.
It most certainly is. Rockets on the feet from CHX should help clear the rest of the foot soldiers there. 204 for Dino and 205 for CHX, getting out of the way, trying to fish for weapons. He is trailing for the first time going into Total Carnage. MrDino, here's his chance.
Almost got clubbed there, but just sidestepped that big swing.
Unfortunately, Dino getting... Oh, and he loses the orb
That is such a curious decision to give up the middle for that key. You've got the orb, like, don't leave the middle unless it's a rocket or a razor shield, I'd say.
Right. I agree. I know he's trying to fish for weapons to complement that orb, but yeah, a big mistake there for Dino.
Yeah, no, curious decision for sure. It's one of those things, maybe only having started running it last year compared to, actually CHX is in the same boat, he's put a lot of work in. It's that understanding of when to ignore a drop and when to go for one. Sometimes you're just better served.
Tell you what, these rockets have been saving Mr. Dino. CHX has not really been getting good quality weapons, and because of that, even losing the orb, Dino with the lead at a 305. CHX, is that a closing nuke? No, it is not, but very close, as that is all of the Mr. Shrapnels. No, it's not all the Mr. Shrapnel. Wow.
Jeez, that's mean.
CHX is 14 seconds back, going in to tank trouble. My word. Plus, Dino still has some weapon left.
Well, you know, Dino, to his credit, to make up for that odd decision, was extremely effective with rocket fire when the game gave him some.
And good job there, too. Shoot one gunner, shoot the other, get the mobility, get back to the middle of the two gunner kills. Just good spread of resources there, maxing up the little bit that was left.
All right, we've got a nuke for Dino, but again, still... Oh, and CHX getting overwhelmed in the middle there.
Not even overwhelmed, was focused on the gunners and stepping back in, tried to break the enemy near him, but overstepped with the shot and took the bat to the knee.
Right now, this has been an orbless run for CHX. Getting rockets, though, that's a great weapon to have here in tank trouble. Now a nuke. Rockets from Dino. Will he be able to get to it? He's able to get to it without stepping on that line. CHX still trying to finish off that room. Dino has finished off the room. He has the lead with a 428 into Mutoid Man. CHX,
Time made up here.
a lot of time made up. He has cut it to 6 seconds. They both have a little bit of clip of rocket left. Dino can take down both gunners.
Risky, but he should be able to reach this. It's going to be close, though.
He gets it.
Mutoid just barely moving out of the way at the last second. And look at this!
Dino can get more damage from that spreader here as long as he doesn't get sabotaged, which he does not.
And gets a nice weapon follow-up here. We'll be able to probably pop the ribcage on this clip.
Oh, absolutely. 2 forms and more just
Whoa,
from the
grenades.
spreader.
Oh no, gets sabotaged by grenades. This is what Trolltoid Man does best.
Good grab there by Dino, picking up
Look at
that
this!
clip.
Look at this!
Oh, he gets a spreader here. Spreader for Mr. Dino. He is going to pull into a big lead on CHX. Final form now for Mr. Dino, but he needs another weapon to get any transfer damage on the final form. And this lobber could do it.
Got some transfer. Would have to be a very accurate lobber, I think, to get it done. And this is bad positioning from Mutoid.
Absolutely here, Mr. Dino. He
Good
a
job.
6.
Oh, wow!
That was a 86-second Mutoid, man. You'll love to see it.
And Mr. Dino putting up a phenomenal run with a 5:55. Wow! And he stays alive.
And I gotta say, guys, I wonder if he was sitting at the door thinking, is CHX going to finish with a better time here?
Well, not this time.
I think Dino's well aware of what's going on because that key for Dino came up next to his name before he even left the arena. I think he's excited about that one, folks.
Oh, he most certainly is. After a heartbreaking loss in game number 3, he steps up to the plate, throws fire. Even though he had lost the orb, he got such good weapon quality in both not Eat My Shrapnel, but rather Total Carnage and Tank Trouble to keep himself afloat, and he lives to see another race, gentlemen.
You love to see that as well. Good, good game to Mr. Dino. Little GGs all around. You have to say that it was interesting. If it is, as you say, that key was up before it was even out the door. But, I like that confidence.
And, CHX really didn't do much wrong, but when you don't have an orb that entire run, it's just one of those things. And that's why we play these best of 7s, gentlemen. And Dino, again, had the orb, lost it, never got another one, but the weapon quality on those last 2 rooms, so good. And then had an immaculate Mutoid Man fight. Puts him back into this match. One game at a time, as you like to say, Bryce Ulf, survive and advance.
That's true. You don't win them all at once. You just got to focus up at the job at hand. One thing to note, though, CHX never saw an orb that whole run. Mr. Dino better clean things up because I don't think he can count on that happening every time.
No, not at all.
I don't know, Brad. That was definitely the best game that Dino's played so far. His rocket use was really, really good once he lost the orb there.
And it kind of says what could have been if he didn't miss so many shots in game number 3. We would be tied 2-2, and we would have ourselves a dogfight.
I mean, as we said, a lot of us saying, no, Dino's as much of a chance. Could be 2-2. It is 3-1. It is what it is. But hey, game 5 upcoming. Can Mr. Dino get to within 1 of CHX here in this ensuing matchup? We'll have to just play a little bit better, though, a little more consistent to maybe get that victory.
Good luck.
No question about it. Here we go. It is game number 5 between CHX42 and our very own Mr. Dino. Again, CHX just needs to win one more to have a rematch with Brysolf in the Grand Championship. Here we go.
Underway, and indeed the usual setup. They did the go to the demo to get the Razor Shield in the middle of the room, which they can use as a weapon. And yeah, just keeping their shooting lanes clean. And great nuke by CHX. This is probably going to be, yeah, same thing, like a mid 38. Well, maybe a high 38, low 39. But definitely about a 1 second and change lead in cards.
About a second and a half, Brysolf. That's not too much, though. Let's see what the weapon quality is going to be. It's got to be better for CHX. And, well, never mind. Bad drops for both.
Another channel prediction problem. Make sure you enjoy that. And we have some channel points. We have a visitor from Mr. Dino. A mouse cursor showed up as a rocket shows up for CHX.
Dino taking an early death, gets a foot. Now more rockets now for CHX. So the weapon quality definitely favoring CHX here in this crucial game number 5. And now he gets an orb, something he didn't see at all in game number 4. And CHX, Dino gets an orb of his own. So at least the game keeping us honest, gentlemen.
Still, though, that's about an 8.5 second lead, it looks like.
Something like that. It's quite a bit, but as long as Dino can keep this swirl healthy, watch out for. Oh, he got dangerously close to that swirl. Oh, and that shrapnel trying to mess with him as well.
Dino playing things a little tight here. I wonder if
I like the confidence from CHX there. Didn't even move in the center of the arena for about 15 seconds. Just fired the rockets at whatever came in at the doors.
You've got that setup. That's the way to do it. Ignore what's going on and just plow them on. The more moving you do in that room, the more potential you have for some enemies slipping out. Maybe slipping close enough to each other.
CHX is now about 11 seconds in the lead going into total carnage. So far doesn't have anything to complement that orb. Grenades, not in a good spot. Rockets on the feet for Dino. That's great.
Love to see that. As you can see, though, CHX is moving very tight, and he's getting good firing lanes. There are very few enemies leaking out on him. The two that did there just walked back to the middle. That was nice.
Vulnerability back-to-back for Dino, and going to ignore it this time, but here's a Razor Shield for CHX. Can get steady control of the middle of the room, but not to be outdone. Razor Shield for Dino.
Yeah, drops being pretty even, all things considered so far, but CHX just with a little tighter execution, not moving around as much to spread out all the little swarmers, is going to be first into the bonus room.
He's going to increase on that lead. It was a 258 Dino with the 312, about a 14-second lead for CHX as it's time for Taco Bell. Taco Bell, product placement with Taco Bell.
Indeed. I was just going to say quickly, check out what Nightbot just dropped, guys. Great chance to win some cash, learn a new speed run. It's a new thing that no one else really has.
CHX losing the orb, clubbed down, can't get the invulnerability either, so maybe an opportunity for Dino to shave some seconds. The opening drop is a foot.
Well, Razor Shield at least killed off the tank coming in the room, able to get the second gunner down. Let's see if Dino can keep that orb healthy. It's been a problem most of the way.
Yeah, especially when you don't get quality weapons. He's getting cornered in that bottom left corner, trying to take down the second gunner, and does so. Now he needs to see, that nuke will help him take a breather here, but he's going to be looking for some more quality weapons in tank trouble. But it's rockets for both.
Love to see that. And a third Razor Shield for CHX. You only see that when you're lacking an orb and not getting good enough to kill super fast. But still, 417, that's a fine entry.
Solid time into Mutoid Man. Dino, though, is going to cut some of that lead. Able to get the shrapnel before it explodes. It's now a 12-second race. It's
Well, that's
still...
raw. CHX is going to have to contend with those gunners, but at least Mutoid Man doesn't vibrate around.
Yep, does get shot by the gunners, but does get a nice consolation prize in those lobbers. Dino takes down the swirl. First drop is lobbers. Great opening drop. Can't get the ball buster, though.
No, Mutoid raising his arms and denying that opportunity for Dino. First arm pops for CHX. Dino going to work with some lobbers. Should be not too far behind on popping that first arm.
Yep, there it
He
goes.
is struggling to hit the extra damage spot, though, so those shots are only doing 4 damage instead of 8.
Yeah, if you can hit the bullseye in his body there, that little red mark, that's where you can get the double damage.
Triple damage, actually, if you get that brown spot right underneath his neck there. That's the sweet spot. Pretty much anywhere in the center of Mutoid will give you the 8 damage, though.
Oh, great manual from CHX.
Wow.
Probably going to steal it off, but just to put it forward, Dino gets his spread released.
Yeah, that's a great spreader. Like, that one spawned in as Dino took the death
What's
there.
Dino doing? He had a setup for like a free manual on the wall.
I don't know, maybe he's not as familiar with the setup, but it's final form now for CHX. Time is running, but here's an empty drop. It's not over yet. CHX, this is Trolltoid Man's final form, doing what the final form does more often than not. Empty drops. Lobbers, this should finish it, but talking on it. Final form for Blue,
Great
but it's
patience
gonna
by
be too late.
CHX to get that. He's going to take it.
And CHX is going to have a rematch with the world record holder, with Bryceoff, in the Grand Championship. Mr. Dino, give it up for him. Our very own Mr. Dino, back from the dead, makes it to the Second Chance Finals, and will take home $50 and a Super Nintendo controller. Props to him.
And the proverbial bronze medal is 3rd place in the tournament. So congratulations and GG to Mr. Dino.
I'll tell you what, though, after those first 2 games from Mr. Dino, he really played well in the last 3. Was close in game number 3, close in game number 5, had the 555 in game number 4. But that early advantage that CHX had, the phenomenal sub 6 times he was putting up, was just too much for Mr. Dino to come back from.